The USFL on ESPN. Tonight from Pontiac, Michigan, the Silver Dome. It is the Chicago Blitz under Marv Levy, and the league champions of a year ago, the Michigan Panthers, have come home to open their season. And good evening to you, everyone. I am Jim Simpson. There are two things that we will talk about tonight in our early going. First of all and foremost, what a shame it is for all of those ticket holders who bought tickets to tonight's game. Since noon today, we've been hearing on radio and television, stay home. One of the biggest blizzards in memory is coming to Detroit. And many have stayed home, and you got to tip your hat or ask them why they came in the first place to those who did make it here. That's number one.
25,000 fans a game. Week number one of this season, almost 35,000 fans a game paid. That's almost 10,000 fans per game more than saw the U.S.
Championship Michigan Panthers. Down by a blizzard that is raging outside that has already swept much of the Midwest. Jim Stanley, the head coach of Michigan, back home for his first home game after the exciting championship win over the Philadelphia Stars of a year ago. Novo Vujovic will kick it off. Remember, a year ago down in Birmingham, Michigan, at Birmingham, you look at Donnell Danielle, who is deep now for Chicago. Vujovic kicked 3 field goals to win that ball game in the league opener, 9-7. 2 of them were 49-yarders. He had a great year and now kicks off to Daniel and the Chicago Blitz. The second season is underway on ESPN. Taken by one of the upmen, Jim Stone, a fullback out of Notre Dame, and back to the 25-yard line, where it is 1st and 10. Evans will be the quarterback. Ferguson and Flowers will alternate in the backfield, and Paul will tell you more about that later. Larry Canada at fullback. And the wide receivers, as well as Flowers, McGee, and Keel is a tight end. They are planning to do some things on offense. We'll tell you about those in a moment. You can already see them as Jackie Flowers, a wide receiver, lines up as the deep man in that I. Now they shift out of it. 3 wide receivers. Now essentially including the tight end, 4 wide receivers. And on first down, Evans to throw and goes behind Jackie Flowers. It is 2nd down and 10.
Okay. We talked about the backfield, that they may have Vegas Ferguson, number 26, in the backfield. That did not happen. What happens is they come in with 3 wide receivers, as you said. Jackie Flowers, 88, Heath McGee, 84, and Marcus Anderson, 80. They use what they call a stack I. They take the quarterback, who is Evans. The fullback is Canada, but behind the quarterback is Gary Lewis, 86, and then Jackie Flowers. And they're doing it again. Now they'll shift out of it, Jim. They'll shift out of it, and then they'll put Flowers back in motion. Here they go.
2nd down 10 from near the 25. Straight ahead, Canada gets a yard or 2, lost the football for a moment, and then hangs on as he gets near the 30-yard line. Kyle Borland hanging on, along with John Corker, who led the league in sacks last year. There is Larry Canada with the Denver Broncos with the Denver Gold. And each of the 4 years in pro ball, he has averaged better than 4 yards per carry. It is 3rd down at about 5.
Now, they also say with this offense that they've got a very good short passing game, they being the Chicago Blitz. And they like to get the ball out now. They've got Vegas Ferguson in the backfield. He's on the wing.
It's Evans over from the Bears. On a rollout, he's got room if he wants, but throws it out here, and it is complete to Mark Keel, the tight end. First down the Blitz. They'll mark it at the 44-yard line. Run out of bounds by Clarence Chapman, the right cornerback. Keel out of Arizona, one of the original Arizona Wranglers that came here to Chicago.
All right, Vince Evans fakes to the fullback, Canada, breaks to the outside, and Borland, who is the outside linebacker, did not get there. And when that happens, now Evans can either run or throw the ball. He decides to hit Keel, who is wide open. They've got a very good short passing game.
Keep in mind, the Blitz expect to move the football. The question becomes, when the Panthers have the football, can they stop the other team? First down from the 44, and on first down again, Evans to throw. He's got a man on the far side, and backing out of bounds is Jackie Flowers, who had 63 catches a year ago. That's a gain of only a couple from the 44 to the 42 at 2nd down and 8. Marv Levy, a veteran in pro football with Montreal as a head coach, with the Kansas City Chiefs from 78 to 82. Head coach in colleges, New Mexico, California, William and Mary. And Jim Stanley on the other side of the field, long time, 6 seasons at Oklahoma State. Second down and 8 to go. No score early on, first quarter. The ball at the Michigan 42. Canada straight ahead, and he's got a first down and more. Breaks one tackle, gets inside the 25. Oliver Davis, number 21, holding on for dear life. Big Larry Canada, he weighs 240, out of Wisconsin.
Now, you take a look at what happens to this defensive alignment. Watch the linebackers to the inside. Now, there's Bentley, number 50. They're all going straight up in the inside, and you've got Corker, 57, going to the outside. When that happens, once they release into the secondary, there's absolutely nobody there but one man, and that was Oliver Davis to save the touchdown.
Drive started at the 25. It's now the 22 of Michigan. 3 wide receivers, 1 lone setback, and a tight end. On first down, Evans fires and sandwiched at the 5-yard line. No flag is Marcus Anderson, a second-year man out of Tulane. Canada's third down and 10. And Anderson gets up. Now, to talk about Michigan, and we'll do that after this, Paul.
Well, we're looking at Marcus Anderson now. He's running just what they call a post pattern. As soon as he did that, he got sandwiched right in the middle by Arnott, his number 25 is one of them in there, and also Clarence Chapman, number 22. But that ball was thrown, I think, deliberately high.
Second down 10. Michigan figures if they can win this game, they can control the Central Division because the other 3 teams in it are expansion teams. Well, Chicago considers itself an expansion team, too. On second down, a little flip out here to Larry Canada, and Canada gets down inside the 25, a loss on the play. Third down and long. Robert Pennywell, number 59, a defensive captain, came up to make the stop. That's Marcus Anderson on the sidelines. He was sandwiched at the 5 on the previous pass play. Now into the lineup comes Vegas Ferguson out of Notre Dame. The last 2 years in the National Football League, Ferguson carried the ball but 1 time, and that was 2 years ago. Third down and 12 to go.
They got Vegas Ferguson on top by himself.
Evans with all the time, fading way back, puts it out and overthrows his man. Intended downfield from Mark Keel, would not have been a first down. And on comes now one of the stories of recent weeks, Kevin Seibel, the big field goal kicker out of Nebraska.
All right, let's just take a look at the time Evans has. Now, he's got a strong enough arm that he can keep dropping back, Jim. He goes back another 7 yards, but look at his arm and his release. The ball is there. I mean, it's in the vicinity of Keel. It's high, but had the ball been low enough, he had enough on his arm to get it to him. It wouldn't have been a first down anyway.
41-yard field goal attempt. Seibel has a great leg, and if anything, he's better from outside 40 yards than inside. And from 41 yards out, Seibel of Nebraska puts it straight through, and the Blitz draw first blood in their game. It is 3-0 Chicago over Michigan. Can return the ball out of the end zone. I don't know if Walter Broughton, number 24, and John Williams, number 40 on your left, know that Seibel can really boom that ball.
Not only that, Jim, he's got to be the biggest kicker in all of professional football. He's 6'1", and they have him listed at 250 pounds. And they say he likes to go down in the kickoff and hit people.
Amazing thing, Paul. We saw him at Nebraska kick the long field goals as he has here. Hit on 96+% in his career of point after touchdowns. But you give him a 20-yard field goal, and he couldn't find the goalpost. That's an exaggeration. But he has a big leg on a big man. Here's Seibel to kick off. Blitz leading 3-0. And he gets it high in the air. After all of that, Walter Broughton comes up and takes it to the 16-yard line and gets out to the 25 and forward across the 30-yard line. And now you'll hear it as Michigan goes to work. And keep your eye on the blitz, because the knock against the blitz, even from their own staff, is they can't stop too many people. Defense is slow in coming. Bobby Hebert will come out with John Williams and Ken Lacey in the backfield. Anthony Gardner, Derek Holloway, the wide receivers. Mike Cobb at tight end. Godfrey and Osmond, the tackles, and Whiskey and Penny, the guards, and Randolph at center. Remember that Dornbrook and McGriff, 2 of their offensive line, are hurt. Here's Hebert, fresh from that long holdout. First down, 31. Carter in motion. Straight ahead goes Ken Lacey. Lacey was the third leading rusher in the league last year behind Kelvin Bryant and Herschel Walker. Defensively, Kadich, Justice, Taylor, and Thornton, the front four for Chicago. Kimmel, Gillen, and Norris, the linebackers. Bryant, he is quick, and Livers at the corners, and Wilcox at strong safety, free safety last year, while at free safety, out of retirement, Doug Plank, the former Chicago Bear. Second down after the pickup of 6 by Lacey and 4 to go from the 36. That is Lacey again, stepping outside, running room across the 45, and Russell down. First down. Little Virgil Livers, who is only 5'9", went after big Ken Lacey, who weighs 220 pounds.
Well, it kind of looks like Ray Penny has not lost anything, number 74. Take a look at the guard. Penny comes to the inside. Now he seals the end of the inside. Number 53, who is John Gillen, the middle linebacker, got himself caught to the inside, stumbled a little bit. When he did that, Lacey got to the outside. All right, here you're going to see Penny, number 74, coming at you. He's going to hook the defensive end into the inside. That's Bruce Thornton. Watch 53, gets tied up on the linebacker, Sam Norris, and Lacey gets to the outside, picks up the first down.
From midfield, 1st and 10, the Panthers. Hebert hasn't thrown yet. May throw here. Looks downfield. Derek Holloway. Touchdown! Derek Holloway, who last year had 11 touchdown passes, beat the good cover man in the backfield, or in the defensive backfield, Trent Bryant, for the 50-yard touchdown.
Jim, I guess Bobby Hebert just satisfied everybody whether he's rusty or not. I mean, that pass, the first one he has thrown in the ball game, and a bomb of about 65, 70 yards, and hit Derek Holloway running away.
Novo Bojovic will attempt the extra point. We haven't had 5 minutes go by in this first Monday night telecast yet. Bojovic hits it, and the championship Panthers lead the Blitz of Chicago 7-3 first quarter.
Take it. This is a bootlegging play right here. Just take a look at Bobby Hebert rolling the outside. Lacey gets an excellent block, and Hebert, watch him put this ball out to Derek Holloway. First of all, Trent Bryant is nowhere near Holloway. And remember one thing about this play. Holloway was still running away when he caught the ball. It gives you an idea of the arm. All right, now you're going to see the move that Holloway puts on Bryant. Right here. Takes him a little bit to the outside, and he's running directly towards the post. And Bryant isn't within 5 yards of him. And again, he's still running away when he caught the ball. He did not have to wait on it. And look at Bobby Hebert. Do you think he knows?
Well, they were saying he was floating the ball a little bit, and that's how you get him intercepted, being out of training camp. He did not get a new contract. He had his contract shortened so that he'd be free to really open negotiation after 2 more seasons. Bobby Hebert out of Northwest Louisiana State, most valuable player in the championship game last year, led the USFL, starting off well here. And now Bojovic sends Daniel to the goal line. Here comes Darnell Daniel, and just about back to the 20-yard line, and that is all before Will Coakley, a reserve linebacker, made the stop. Scoring drive, 3 plays, 68 yards, the last 49 and a half. Caught the pass from Hebert to Holloway. It only took him a minute and a half to edge in front of Chicago, 7-3. Now remember, in the division, the Central Division with Michigan and Chicago, 2 veteran teams are Houston, new, Oakland, new, San Antonio, new. Michigan figures control the Blitz tonight, and we've got this Central Division just about wrapped up and on the way to the playoffs again. Again, 3 wide receivers. Flowers in motion. And Evans back to throw. Gets it across the way, and that is Marcus Anderson. And he just gets a couple of yards before Clarence Chapman cuts him down. Marv Levy said today, we have to have something big to happen. And the funny thing said, we would rather just have ball control by them against us rather than him hit the big play. They kept the ball only for a minute and a half and hit the big play.
Well, he was afraid of his defensive secondary, and Marv knows it. He does not have a lot of speed in the secondary. Plank has been around a long time. He's been out a couple of years. Tommy Wilcox doesn't have a lot of speed, but he'll hit you. But I guess Trent Bryant is the one man with the speed if there's anybody back there.
Vince Evans has had some great days in the Silverdome, while with the Bears might have our first flag of the night and do as Canada carries the ball. But it could be, as Pennywell makes the stop, it could be that a Michigan Panther was across the line of scrimmage. By the way, while we have the chance here, that is Bill Parkinson, our referee. Offside, he's going to tell us, against Michigan. The umpire tonight, Ed Manning. Jack Pitkus is the head linesman. Line judge, L.T. Bonner. Back judge, John Goldsmith. Joe Reichwein is the side judge. And the field judge is Horton Acesta. And they'll move the ball out to about the 28-yard line.
Encroachment, number 99 on the defense. Second down.
That is Ronnie Padgett. By the way, defensively for Michigan, David Tipton, their nose guard, is out at Jim Stanley's team. And Alan Hughes, the defensive end, has moved into the middle. And Larry Bethea, longtime Dallas Cowboy, is on the right defensive end. And a lot of good linebackers on this Michigan team, including Corkler and Pennywell and Bentley and Edwards, and 4 good backups. Second down, 2 to go. Here's Evans rolling out, and he's going to run for it and has the first down. Evans weighs 211. Ray Bentley makes the stop. He was all USFL last year. Evans was in the NFL last year.
That's the second time now that Evans has run that bootleg play. And what's happened, they've run it both times to Kyle Borland's side. The first time Borland went downfield, he didn't see it. He missed the fake. And this time, he saw Evans come out, but Borland, number 52, dropped back into coverage. As soon as Evans saw that, he had a guard out in front of him. He just went up and got the first down. I think what's going to happen is Bentley's going to have to fill from the inside linebacker spot.
First and 10, 8:10 to go. First quarter, 7-3 Michigan. Evans, they were blitzing from the outside, gets the ball away, but by the time downfield Allen Anderson had turned around, the ball was hitting behind him. Vince Evans had to unload in a hurry as Corker, with those 28 sacks a year ago, was coming on the dead run. It is second down and 10.
Jim, Larry Canada, his job is to block that man that you see on the screen right there, Mr. Corker. Now watch Canada. He looks to his, now he sees Borland coming, so he's going to go on to the outside, and the guard pulled out to block on Corker. A little different formation for him.
Second and 10. Larry Canada does not get anything. Not a thing. Down at the bottom is John Corker. Along with him is Larry Bethea, number 79. And it is third down and about 9 to go. I tell you one thing, Paul, this blizzard in the area has kept a lot of ticket holders at home, but those who made it are here making the most of it. They're allowed through.
I'm just seeing more and more people coming in, so it didn't hold that many people out, and they did sell over 30,000 tickets for this game.
And expected better than 40. From a 35-yard line, second down 8. Michigan up by 4. The Blitz scored first. They're sending those linebackers all the time. And they may have run out of time. Did not get it off in time. Delay of game is the call. Tell you what, if I'm Vince Evans and see those good linebackers, Pennywell, Corker, Bentley, and Edwards, 2 of the 4 are teeing off on him nearly every snap of the ball.
Well, you know, I talked to John Corker, and John told me he does have a free rein. If he has no one to cover coming out of the backfield, he is basically free to go. And when you see Corker come up to the line of scrimmage, that's Coakley 58 in there, but look at Corker. He comes up, and there's Canada. That's his man to block. Of course, the whistle is blown. Canada let him go, but he has that freedom.
Third down and 13 from the 30. Here they come again. Evans rolls away from him, gets the ball away, and has a man on a comeback pattern across the way. That is that is Evans getting up there, and it was Keith McGee who made the catch, but it is short. Whoops, they got the first down. Mark it, they got the first down.
You think Evans isn't in trouble, but watch how strong his arm is. He's gonna roll out of there to his left. Watch him uncork this ball. Now he's gonna get nailed. The 2 guys that hit him are Alan Hughes and number 58, Coakley. 98 is Allen Hughes. But Evans stayed in there and threw that ball like a rocket, got the first down.
As we said with the Chicago Bears, Evans had great days here, much to the Lions' dismay in his NFL days, and he's having a good night tonight. Fake to Vegas, Ferguson gets the ball away, he's hit, and the flag is down. Anderson, the man far downfield, and Oliver Davis in on the play. Face mask called against Michigan, and the Blitz are going to get another shot at first down. Jim Stanley, Coach of the Year, according to many in the USFL.
Look at Blitz Evans. Now, you talk about a man that has confidence in his arm. Play action pass. That's Vegas Ferguson coming back. Now watch him set up. He's looking over the field. He knows now he's going to get hit.
Face mask.
It coming.
Number 98 on the defense.
And that
First
release,
down
that
and
quick
5.
release, the ball was overthrown, but he got it away, did not take the sack, but they had a face mask on Michigan.
And of course it was not against Evans. It was in the line play that one of the defensive linemen, Allen Hughes, grabbed one of the offensive linemen, or perhaps Canada, by the face mask. First down. And 5 to go now. Offside. Offside again. Flag is down again as Canada goes ahead and has a first down. They will probably take the play. You can see Bethea, number 79. He is there, as we said, because Hughes had to move inside because David Tipton is hurt.
Kyle Borland, number 52, jumped offside again. He got across the line of scrimmage, couldn't get back.
Offside.
Well,
Number 52 on the defense. Penalties declined. First down.
You were a linebacker once. You linebackers were turned loose like that, you get a leaguer.
I can't remember that part. You know what happens is they're listening to a snap count and trying to get a rhythm by Evans and thinking that, you know, he's going to go on 2, but obviously what Evans is doing, he's mixing up the snap count from 1, 2 to 3.
Well, he was around the NFL for 7 years. First down from the 44 of Michigan. Quick little pattern out there, and it's caught by Keith McGee again, and Ray Bentley puts him down. Corker also over there. There is Keith McGee, first-year man, at least 1-year experience out of the University of New Mexico, where years ago, Marv Levy was head coach.
Jim, I talked to Ron Waller, who's the offensive coordinator for the Chicago Blitz, and he told me with the strength of Vince Evans' arm, they can throw comebacks against any team as much as they want because he sends that ball like a pro. I guess the old expression is a frozen rope, but that ball is gone, and when they make their turn to come back to the ball is there.
Remember, they're using 1 back and 3 wide receivers plus the tight end. 10 seconds on the clock. Evans puts it down there, and it's to no one. It was for Anderson, and back there with him was Clarence Chapman. But it's incomplete.
You want to know why Evans is having a time, Jim? Just take a look at this. Bob Simmons, number 73, Fisher, 57, 65 is Glenn Hyde, 74 is Hoppick. And these guys are just doing a great job up in the middle. Now, a couple of times Evans rolled to the outside because of the blitz by Corker. If he stays in, I think you'll have enough protection.
He is 6 of 11 for 53 yards. Edwards and Corker were blitzing on the last play. Second down, 10. 7-3 Michigan. Here's a pitch out to Canada, and it's open again. Canada's got the first down, gets a block, cuts inside. It's first and goal to go, Chicago. They keep those linebackers coming in, and it's open to the outside.
Jim, I'm going to tell you something. Marcus Anderson, number 80, the flanker, knocked off 2 men. Watch on the top of your screen. Watch number 80. Well, you're going to see 2 guys go out. Greenwood was one of them, and also was the linebacker, which was Kyle Borland on the inside. But that was knocked down and caused by a flanker, and Larry Canada takes the ball down to the, what, 1.5-yard line.
That's right, inside the 2. Less than 5 minutes to go, first quarter. Chicago scored first on a field goal. Michigan came right back with a 50-yard touchdown pass, and now here come the Blitz. Ferguson joins Canada as a running back. Vegas Ferguson Gets down close to the goal line, and will mark it just shy of the goal line. Now that is his second carry in league games in 2 years plus a game. He had 1 carry, as we said, in the previous 2 years in the NFL.
I'll tell you what, I just saw Marv Levy pointing out to the outfield, out on the field, and saying, you. And if they was looking at Evans, then I would imagine that Vince Evans is going to carry the ball.
Gannon has carried 5 times, 2 good runs, total 86 yards already. And they're marking the ball just inside the 1.
57 on the defense. Line up in the neutral zone. First down.
So, take that play by Ferguson back, give a penalty to the Panthers. It's still first down, and they moved it ahead just about 3/4 of a yard.
And we're going to find out who you is. Marv Levy said you.
Vince Evans, touchdown!
That's who you is.
And the Blitz go out in front. Now there's a fight down. Flags are down. Hoppett, one of the offensive linemen, we can see him.
Corker's the other guy.
We know who he is.
Yeah, 57.
There is Doug Hoppett out of Kansas State. Flags have flown. The touchdown stands. And we'll see what happens.
Personal foul. Number 79 on the offense. Personal foul. Number 74 on the defense. The penalty's offset. We'll try the extra point.
Well, I tell you what, I think he got a little fouled up there. At 74 on offense, it's Hoppett, and 79 on defense is Thornton.
Well, here's you. You is number 8, Vince Evans. That's what Marv Levy said. You take the ball, you go over the top. Bentley, number 50, is in there filling, but Vince Evans, all you got to do. So remind everybody. All you got to do is crack the plane to the goal line with the ball, and it's a touchdown.
Evan Seibel, outstanding point after touchdown man in college, kicking his first in the pros and has it. And with 4:35 left, it is now Chicago. Seibel, remember all that we told you about his great leg? He doesn't get the ball to about the 18-yard line, and Broughton takes it there. Broughton gets across the 35-yard line. One of the reasons they got rid of Efren Herrera is because he could only kick the ball to the 18-yard line. Seibel has kicked the long field goal of 41 yards tonight, but hasn't got the ball inside the 15 on the kickoff.
Well, one other thing, too, Jim, there's a scoring drive. You can take a look at it there, but the other thing about it is he is getting height, but the kicking team is not getting down there. The Michigan Panthers are blocking so well between the 40 and 45-yard line. It gives Broughton enough time to catch the ball, and it looks like he's about ready to break one.
Ball on the 36-yard line. Score is 10-7 Chicago. Michigan's got the ball, first down. Took him just about a minute and a half last time to get a touchdown. There's Hebert looking and throwing to Anthony Carter. Carter gets away, still on his feet. He can excite you. And down he goes, first down at the 41.
You see Hebert's eyes? Jim, we're going to show you why. His eyes are blinking just a little bit. Here he comes. Play action pass again. He's going to roll out. He's going to get hit by number 79, Bruce Thornton. I mean, get hammered. He's down. But the catch, look at Anthony Carter. Now, there's Trent Bryant. He misses. Watch what, well, what do they call him? AC? Watch what he does. He goes back in, and now he's picking up his blockers on the outside. That's Osmond. Tony Osmond, number 75, helping him downfield.
We said we were sure of 2 things tonight, the blizzard outside and a wide open game inside. You're right so far. First down from the 40, Lacey getting outside. Good hit there by number 53, John Gillen, the middle linebacker out of Illinois. As Lacey gets down to the 36-yard line. And it's second down and 6 to go. There is Lacey, the only men ahead of him last year in rushing statistics were Herschel Walker and Calvin Bryant, and Lacey just about missed the first month of the season and still wound up third rushing the ball.
And he likes that big number 40, John Williams, in the backfield, who got an excellent block on the outside linebacker. He's a good football player.
Holloway to the right and Carter to the left. not have the first down. It'll be 3rd down and short. Getting up, you can see, is Randy Justice out of Missouri, 264 pounds, number 66. They'll put the ball at the 33-yard line with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in this, the first quarter.
Chicago Blitz, they use a 4-3 defense, but actually, if you look at them the way they line up, it's actually a 6-1-4 defense because they're putting not only the strong side linebacker up on the line of scrimmage, they're also putting the weak side linebacker up on the line of scrimmage.
Now for the first down tonight for the Panthers, both Holloway and Carter come wide left on 3rd down and short. Carter in motion, Hebert back to throw, dumps it across the middle to Holloway, and Holloway's got the first down. First man to hit him, Gillen, the middle linebacker, and you can see Kadich up there, number 61, to contain him. First down. Winners yesterday in the first weekend of the USFL. Arizona over Oakland, Denver over Los Angeles. Jacksonville, an expansion team, buried the Washington Federals. New Jersey got by Birmingham. New Orleans over San Antonio, Oklahoma, and Pittsburgh in a rainstorm with Rozier only getting 27 yards. In Memphis, they've gone wild. They were leading Philadelphia until the 4th quarter when Philadelphia beat them. And Tampa Bay over Houston by 3. From a 27-yard line. First time tonight that Terry Miller carries the ball, and Miller gets down near the 25-yard line. Miller played for Jim Stanley at Oklahoma State. Number 43, 5'10", 196. Less than a half a minute to go now in the first quarter.
Terry Miller, you know, there was a question about him. They brought a lot of offensive backs in here to play. Terry Miller came back into Michigan this year with a tremendous attitude, had a super preseason, and he just cut everybody that was trying to take his job.
Second down and 7 from inside the 25. Hebert, there's Lacey. Lacey runs over a couple of folks and picks up the first down near the 15-yard line. They'll mark it at the 16 as the first quarter has ended. Chicago scored first, then Michigan, then Chicago, and here comes Michigan again at the end of the first quarter. On ESPN in the second season. And a reminder that Paul and I will be picking the men and most valuable player at the end of the game, and a check for $1,000 will go to the school or university of that player's choice. Michigan down by 3 as we start the second quarter, but they've got the ball at the 16-yard line. 1st and 10, trailing by 3. Hebert to throw it first down. Looking for Anthony Carter. Touchdown! Beat Trent Bryant as Holloway had earlier. Anthony Carter, who got the clinching touchdown in the championship game, has his first touchdown catch of this new season. And Marv Levy was right. Paul McGuire, his team can't stop anybody.
They can't stop anybody, but we can score. Watch what Anthony Carter does now. He's going to go by Trent Bryant, but the guy that doesn't make the play is going to be Doug Plank, number 46. You see where he drifts out? As soon as he does that, AC is already by Bryant. He's got the touchdown on the post pattern. But the man I want to give a lot of credit to is Bobby Hebert. He only took about 2 steps back from the line of scrimmage and then stayed in the pocket.
Vojovich makes it 14-10. Michigan, the defending champions of the United States Football League's first season, leads 14-10. Vojovich to kick off. To the 20. Daniel along the sidelines and run out of bounds. Out to about the 34-yard line. But Hebert, as we said, is absolutely picture perfect. That last time, 16 yards to Carter.
Now watch, here's what I talked about. Here's the guy I gave credit to was Hebert. Watch what he does here. And watch how long he waits for Anthony Carter. 3 steps back, watch. Now he knows he's going to get hit, and that ball's right on target.
Second quarter, 14:46 to go in the half. And Holloway and Carter and Hebert, who took themselves and their teammates to the championship win last year, have started 1984 in outstanding fashion. Here comes Chicago. They can score. Flowers in motion. It's defense they're worried about. Evans throws it out here and has his tight end Mark Keel. And Keel picks up 3 or 4 yards across the 35 before John Corker and Oliver Davis make the stop. Here's the Michigan offensive line. Some new men are in there. Wiska is in there, but Grimm is not. Osmond is in there. Dornbrook is not. Dornbrook may be out for the season.
That's a big blow to this team, but the way this offensive line is protected, Bobby Hebert, they went out and did the right thing, got some backup people.
2nd down and 6 to go from the 37. Now for the first time in the ball game, Glenn Ford carries the ball, and not for much. Maybe a yard before this youngster who came over from the Denver Gold is really racked up by Allen Hughes and David Greenwood, 2 of the hardest hitters on the club.
All right, here's what a strong safety has to do. Jim, he sees the run play. All he's got to do now is fight off the blockers and make sure he can find a piece of the ball player. But the guy on the bottom was number 57, John Corker, all the way from the other side.
3rd down, 5 to go. Evans has got to throw. He's got the time, and the ball is off the hands of the intended receiver, Marcus Anderson. Anderson was hit hard there by Pennywell.
Well, Pennywell,
the ball, really.
Pennywell almost had the interception. What they did that time, Jim, is they backed off all the linebackers, and they're going to let him throw the ball and let the 3-man rush go after him.
First punt of the night, the way this ball game has been going. And Levy, who had Gossett at Kansas City, Gossett came over from the Browns, will kick the ball away to another outstanding man on a kick team, the returner Anthony Carter. Gossett can hit him quickly, gets the ball away, great height, and Carter can do anything once he gets the football, and seldom calls for a fair catch.
Michigan's going after it.
Here comes 10 after Gossett. Gets the ball away, high and deep. Carter backs up inside the 15, back to the 12, and they're down there with him. But he's got speed, and there's good containment. Excellent containment by the Blitz on that play. And time has been called. 13-13 to go. The ball is on the 17-yard line. And now for the first time tonight, we see Frank McLean come out wide to the right as Carter gets a breather after that return. There's Lacey, and you can see the man up top is Bruce Thornton, the ex-Dallas Cowboy. They're saying that Lacey fumbled, and getting up with the ball is Gillen, but the ball had been blown dead. Marv Levy, no secrets in the USFL on his team about trying to build that defense. This is the former Arizona Wrangler team. Only a few remember the 50 men he's got, including the developmental squad. Only about 16 of the old Wranglers. Everybody else is new.
And only 4 remain from the Chicago Blitz team, so they consider themselves an expansion team.
2nd down and 7. Hebert, but from behind, he gets the ball away over the head of Lacey out of the backfield, and he was covered by Gillen. It was Thornton who was putting the pressure on Hebert. By the way, in talking to Marv Levy today and to some of the officials of the Blitz, they hope that that front office situation is straightened out. Dr. Hoffman, who bought it from Dr. Dietrich, has indicated he would like to sell, and the league, Carl Marasco, has come out to run things in the interim, and apparently everything's going to be worked out just fine. Not a question of going under, it's a question of who's going to own the team. Will Hoffman sell, and if so, who's going to buy it? Now Carter comes wide right. Holloway and McLean as now on 3rd down and 7. Michigan uses 3 wide receivers with Holloway in motion. Hebert puts it out here for Holloway, and almost the interception by Armstead. Charles Armstead, a rookie out of Illinois, almost had an interception and a touchdown. But when you're a rookie, that ball, oh, did he want that?
It looked like a basketball coming out to Armstead. Armstead knew it. The rush was on. Here's on the other side. You're going to see Holloway's going to go in motion. Liver said, okay, Armstead, you take him on the other side. Here comes Armstead, 47. Watch, he's looking at the ball all the way. And Holloway went back and either yelled at him or tried to do something to distract him, but Armstead had a touchdown.
David Greenwood averaged better than 41 yards last year as the punter, and deep is Darnell Daniel. And Greenwood is standing on his own 5-yard line. First time Michigan hadn't been able to move the ball. And he gets away a few. High, Daniel pursuing it. And he is at the 30-yard line. It comes straight upfield and slips a couple of tacklers. It gets across the 40-yard line. And so outstanding field position for the Blitz, who must feel good, because for the first time tonight, they have stopped the Michigan offense. And Chicago's got the ball 1st and 10. Vince Evans is having quite a night. And here comes his running back, Glenn Ford. Ford does better this time than he did on his first carry and may have the first down across midfield. Ford was picked up because he would give them some speed in the backfield, something that the Blitz do not have.
I'll tell you what they just found out. They also have power. Did you see that? He broke it up to the inside. He just took the Michigan team and picked up almost 10 yards. They did pick up a first down.
We have an unofficial report by a member of our crew who stuck his head out of the remote unit that we have and said, blizzard conditions already. It's supposed to be up to 12 inches here. They say they've got 3 already, and the blizzard isn't supposed to start until after midnight.
They have beds in those suites here, so we can stay in here tonight.
11:38 to go. First half, here's Evans. Evans, what an arm, and he's got his man right there. Fine play, and Marcus Anderson, who's been sandwiched, knocked down, knocked out of bounds, finally gets the ball, and another first down inside. Well, they're going to mark it just outside the 35-yard line.
Let me say something about this Blitz offense, and I hope I can explain this to you. They run what they call sight adjustment routes. I know that's garbage to most people, but what the receivers are doing, they're going down and taking a look at the safeties and where they're coming. If they're going to a too-deep zone, they know that they can break the pattern off short. Evans reading the weak safety, he can throw it a little bit shorter and into the zone areas that are open.
Here's Evans rolling out. Still running with the football and out of bounds. Running away from the outstretched arms of Kyle Borland. But he picked up good yardage on the play and gets the ball inside the 30-yard line to the 29-yard line. Let me tell you, well, let Paul tell you about Evans running first.
Well, I told you 2 times in the first quarter that Kyle Borland got himself committed to the inside. Now look at how far Kyle Borland 52 drops off. As soon as Evans sees that, and he sees Padgett being knocked down, then he breaks it upfield and he picked up, I guess, 6 yards.
Jim Simpson with Paul McGuire, our first Monday night USFL here on ESPN, live from the Silverdome. A raging blizzard outside, a hot football game inside, with Michigan leading 14-10, and here come the Blitz. And there's the delivery again, almost a first down out there. Clarence Chapman makes the tackle, and that is Marcus Anderson getting up again. I started to say about Vince Evans and his great moments up here, Paul. In week 7 of last season, when he was with the Bears, he came up here and hit on 20 of 45 for 330 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And in 1980, he came off the bench up here and knocked the Lions right out of the playoffs. So he loves the Silverdome.
I think he does, too. He's the kind of guy, well, anybody like to play indoors.
And it is just that short of a first down. Just that much. Friday night, a big game coming up live again. We're going out Tempe, Arizona way. To Arizona, the Wranglers under George Allen. And remember what they did yesterday. They buried Oakland 35-7. And the team that's going out there to play them, Tampa Bay, which despite Gary Anderson rushing for 114 yards, well, they just did get by Houston 20-17. But the fellow Jim Kelly, that rookie out of Miami for Houston, was 24-41 for 229 yards, and that's why Tampa Bay had some problems.
That was Buffalo's first-round draft choice last year and didn't get him. I just saw Marv again give the old U play.
Well, U last time was a touchdown by Evans from less than a yard out. They've only got inches to go here, and Big Vince Evans is the quarterback. First down. That's who it is. U is Vince Evans.
That's a good, that doesn't confuse anybody. Now this time, Vince Evans went left. He went over Hyde, Hoppick, and Fisher, who would be the center. Watch a little step back, and then right over Fisher, between Fisher and Glenn Hyde, number 65. Not a bad place to go.
Spot the ball just inside the 25-yard line. Jim Stanley's team, defending champions, having some trouble with their own zone defense. With that 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end offense. Now they've got 2 backs in there. And there's a switch back to Glenn Ford. Ford turns the corner. There's that speed of Ford, and there's that power of Ford. And he's got a first down inside the 10-yard line. But Larry Bethea hanging on for dear life.
Well, Jim, you mentioned that the one thing they've got to worry about, all he's got to do is learn the offense, and they wanted the speed. Watch this speed to the outside. Here he comes. Hart at number 62, the guard, gets a great block on Pennywell, and they get the people downfield. And when you see execution like that, and you pick up a first down, now you know how important this young man is going to be to their team. They said they're going to throw the ball 80% of the time on first down. When you got a Ford in the backfield, you don't have to.
First down and goal to go from the 9. Ford only carried the ball 10 times for the Denver goal last year, and he's having a great night tonight. That's Ford in motion. They give the ball to Ford. He's got men in front of him. Cuts back, gets away from one man, and down to about the 3. Breaking the tackles of Arnott, and Bentley finally pulled him down. It is second down and goal to go from within the 5. Put the ball down at the 2. 8:47 to go in the first half. Michigan up 14-10, but the Blitz, who said they can score, have scored and look as though they're about to score again. Very quickly, Allen Hughes is coming into the middle. They're taking out a linebacker, Pennywell, to give them a front 4 down this deep in their own territory.
Well, we know Ford only has 2 plays. One is the handoff, and the other one he goes in motion and they hand it off to him again.
Evans, Canada touchdown! Larry Canada, not the quickest man in the world, turned it back up inside and scores from the 2. And Chicago goes in front again.
This is what you call a bull in your backfield. Watch Canada, and you're right, Jimmy, he's really not that quick, but he sees that hole to the inside. Arnott comes up to force him back to the inside. The pursuit is really not there, and Canada picks up the yardage. Here it comes at you. Watch Canada. Here, you see what he sees. He sees Arnott to his outside. Why not take it back to the inside? Touchdown.
And now Seibel with Gossett holding. Lost it. And that's it. They do not get it. Oh, it is 16-14. As they bobble the snap from center. 8:15 to go. Chicago has moved out in front.
The only thing the kicker has on his mind is to kick the football. Gossett never got the ball in his hands, never got the ball down. Remember now, the 2-point play is in effect in professional football, so if Gossett picks it up and scores, it's 2 points.
Tom Mees, USFL Stars in action, coming up at halftime. And we've got 8 minutes and 15 seconds of playing time before Tom gets his turn. Williams on your left and Broughton on your right. And Seibel to kick off. He hasn't had a deep one yet. And this is high, and Broughton this time is inside the 10. That's the farthest he's kicking, and Broughton does not get out to the 20-yard line. Good coverage there on that high kick. Jimmy Rivera, reserve linebacker, made the tackle. 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Vince Evans did a lot of it. Glenn Ford did a lot of it, but it's Larry Canada who scored from 2 yards out. I tell you, if we had to give our men an MVP award right now, would you say Hebert, 4 for 4, couple touchdowns, or Evans, who's led them to 2 touchdowns and a field goal? It is a close thing, and it's a wide open game. From the 19-yard line, Holloway goes to the left, Carter to the right, Williams and Lacey the setbacks. That is Williams carrying the ball for the first time. And gets about 3 to the 22. John Williams, a very good short yardage man, seldom used on a first down play. Malcolm Taylor, over from the Houston Oilers, the right defensive tackle out of Tennessee State, number 70, made the stop of John Williams, who's a second-year man out of Wisconsin.
Jim, and I just looked at the Chicago Blitz lineup that time. Now, whether they're going to stay with that or not, when Michigan went strong right, which they're going strong right this time, they've got Virgil Livers, number 24, out one-on-one on Derek Holloway with no apparent help.
And Trent Bryant out here with Anthony Carter one-on-one with no apparent help.
Now they're rolling up into his zone.
Well, here's Lacey. Lacey bumped into his own blocker. Lacey absolutely bumped off the back of Chris Godfrey, number 70, and had to get his steam up again and got across the 25-yard line. Good play by Lacey, but it's going to be 3rd down and 4 to go. Jim Stanley, a quiet man. He brought some new people in here at the end of last year, back up in the offensive line. Blitz, while they were rebuilding, Stanley was trying to sign his veterans to long-term contracts. 3rd down and 4 from the 25. Hebert to throw. Lacey out of the backfield, and he bounces it on one hop, and it's 4th down. And for the second possession of the Panthers, admittedly, each time they've started inside their own 20-yard line, they're going to have to kick the ball away.
And Hebert is, I'm watching his patterns, and he's looking everything to his right. I know they're going to tell him from upstairs, take a look at the left-hand side of the field because you've got some people open. That time he had Holloway, 29, open. He also had John Williams, number 40, coming out of the backfield who was open.
Donnell Daniels standing inside his 30-yard line. As David Greenwood is standing on his own 10. His last punt was 51 yards. Greenwood. Daniel is out of bounds, and they'll mark it inside, let's see, the 30 up to about the 29-yard line. For USFL Stars in action at halftime with the highlights and action from this first weekend. I can't imagine, as you took a look at all those people in the stands, we have had blizzard warnings all day. There's better than 3 inches out there now. It could be up to 12 inches. Much of the Middle West is shut down. And a lot of the people that bought the tickets actually showed up, and we were wondering how we'll even get home.
They're like the people in Buffalo. When they give you a warning, we know better. We're going out anyway.
First down for 29, Chicago. They lead by 2, 6:01 to go. First half. Blitz Evans putting it way up top for Marcus Anderson. Anderson has a fine defensive play by Clarence Chapman. Chapman, stride for stride with him, knocks the ball away.
Jim, I told you before that these are sight adjustments on the offensive receivers. Now take a look at what happens. There's Clarence Chapman on the top of your screen. Arnott is here. Watch what happens. Here comes Anderson. He's just running straight because he knows he's one-on-one. And this ball hits him right in the face, I think. Right in the face mask.
Second down. There is Chapman. Stride for stride with Anderson. Chicago went for the bomb, leading 16-14, less than 6 minutes to go in the half. Maybe they feel they can contain Michigan now. Good play there, but not able to hold on to it. Mark Keel, a tight end. Drilled him at the 34-yard line. Keel was hit not that hard and dropped the football. And suddenly Marv Levy's group finds itself in 3rd down and 10. They're playing, Paul, as though they can go for something big, feeling now that they may be able to contain this Michigan offense. They've done it the last 2 times around, but that was well within their own 20. Evans is 9 of 17 for 74 yards, and he faces a 3rd and 10 situation here.
You know, when you tell a defense you can't stop somebody and all of a sudden they do it, it puts an awful lot of confidence in your offense.
Evans with time, has his man, and Keel has got the first down. Same play, only this time Mark Keel holds on to the football at the 41-yard line. Borland put him down.
Now, Keel the last time dropped the ball. He looked to run before he caught the ball. Watch where he's throwing it, between Pennywell, 59, and Borland, 52. He's just hooking up the tight end. Sight adjustment patterns. That's what Ron Roller told me. That's what I'm using, and that's what it is.
There's Mark Keel out of the University of Arizona. There's Anderson. And again, Chapman is right there with him. But Anderson picks up some yardage, better than 5, closer to 8. Out across the 45-yard line. They'll mark it at the 47-yard line.
Jim, they say Vince Evans is a franchise. Yeah, I believe that. And the one thing that I was told about him, that he's got such a quick release and he can throw the ball so hard. He is making, that ball is being thrown as they're making the turn. And it's so difficult for a defensive cornerman, and I'm not making excuses for anybody here, but it's so difficult for the cornerman because the wide receiver knows exactly where he's going, and Clarence Chapman is playing off Anderson 10 yards.
At least. Second down. Evans stands in the pocket, delivers the ball, and slipping and falling is Anderson. It's third down. Anderson was in the clear. Evans had the ball on the money, and Marcus fell down. By the way, since you and I were here last time, Paul, this is a brand new carpet here that they're running on.
All right, now take a look. You don't even see Chapman in the picture. Here's Anderson. It looks like in the drills before the game, there's nobody there. Look where Chapman is sitting. That ball was thrown behind. It's a bad pass. He was wide open, Anderson. Jim, I'm not going to be surprised in the second half to see Michigan come out and play 5 defensive backs, because basically all Chicago's doing is throwing the football.
Glenn Ford says not quite all.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry,
and Larry Canada's had some good runs. Here's Ford again. Got a whole convoy in front of him, but cut down on a fine play by Ray Bentley. An all USFL Pro number 50. And it's fourth down, and now Jeff Gossett will have to kick the ball away.
That's what the linebacker says to the back. You're down. I mean, he went down.
4:10 to go in this first half. Chicago, which missed the extra point on its last attempt when they fumbled the ball from center, leads by 2, 16-14. Carter is now joined by Broughton in double safety. A.C. Anthony Carter, of course, is number 1 on your right. Walter Broughton on your left. And Gossett standing on his own 35. Letting the time run down. Not a rush at all. Booming high. Deep kick. They'll let it go into the end zone if it will, and it does. And it'll come out to the 20-yard line. First and 10. A 52-yard punt, but they'll bring it out to the 20, so it's only a 30-yard net.
52-yard punt by Gossett.
You always wonder what this guy does. Now, that's the up back. That's number 58, Kimmel. Here's his job. His job is to protect, first of all, up the middle. Second, to the right-hand side of the kicker, Jim, because it's a right-footed kicker. Lastly, to pick up anything that comes left, because that's the hardest place to block it.
Remember, Paul and I will be out in Tempe, Arizona Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Teams that won yesterday, Tampa Bay and Arizona, will be here on ESPN. From the 20, first down, 3:36 to go, first half. Fake to Lacey. Hebert steps up, throws, and they're going to throw a flag on Virgil Livers. Livers bumped him, backed off and said, hey, wait a minute, I didn't mean to, I was going for the ball. But they have thrown a flag, and it'll be pass interference, which in the USFL is 15 yards and an automatic first down.
There won't be any discussion on this or ruled off because of the fact that both the back judge and the official on the sideline, the side judge, they both threw flags. I don't see why there's discussion. Now, the question is here, where the discussion is, so you can understand why they're doing it. Did he have a chance, Holloway, to catch the football? Here we go.
No flag on the play. The ball was uncatchable. Second down.
That is exactly a good call. They don't like it, of course, it's against Michigan, but he couldn't get the ball anyway, so no harm, no foul.
That's exactly right. Here's the thing. Now, just take a look at Holloway. Comes in. Livers is going to hit him, but Holloway is moving back to the ball. Now, watch where the ball goes.
He was behind him. Holloway turned in toward the middle, and the ball goes toward the sidelines. You'll see it again here. Holloway cutting toward the middle. Livers is right with him. And the ball bounds about 8 to 10 yards past him. So it is second down and 10 from the 20. Carter in motion. Hebert flips it across the middle to his tight end, Mike Cobb. And Cobb does not get to the 30. Lost the football, but they say he's down. And it is third down and short yardage to go.
It'll be 3rd and 1.
Mike Cobb, captain of the offensive team, had 61 catches last year, 7-year veteran out of Michigan State. And that's his first catch of this year in regular league season.
One other thing about Holloway, Jim, if anybody watching it from the angles that we had it, they thought that he could jump up and catch the football, you got to remember one thing, he's only 5'7". I don't think he can get up 12 feet in the air.
Third down, short yardage to go. 2:45 to go in this, the first half. Terry Miller, and Miller may not make it, as Miller is ridden down by John Gill in the middle linebacker, number 53. And for the third time in the last 3 possessions, admittedly all starting from the 20 or inside the 20, Michigan has to kick the ball away.
Here's what a middle linebacker has to do. Now he has to contain. The block is missed there. Gillen gets number 53, gets to the outside. Now his job is to pick up anything that comes back inside. Livers held up Terry Miller, number 43, just a little bit, and then Gillen got in and made the play and stopped the first down.
Greenwood to kick the ball away. Line drive this time. Daniel has the ball at the 26-yard line, and a flag goes down almost immediately as Daniel goes down at the 35. But a flag went down almost immediately. 1:54 left. A 45-yard punt, 9-yard return. That's 36 yards net, but I think they're going to go back the other way. The penalty will be against the Blitz.
Moriarty, number 45, was clipped by or hit in the back from behind on the top or whatever how they ever call it. Ron Harris, number 20. That's hitting player from behind in the back.
Well, he's one of the few people, Paul, that I know. Let's listen. Well, Bill's not going to tell us quite yet. Who pronounces his name Moriarty.
Moriarty.
And not only has he been called with a clip, but we didn't get his name right the first time. So
Moriarty is the man that was clipped or held or pushed or shoved.
Let's see what Bill says about it. Bill Parkinson, the referee, crew here tonight. Flip on that microphone, Bill.
Illegal block above the waist from behind during the return, number 20.
Whoops,
First
it's not even
down.
Moriarty.
No, he's the one who was hit. Number 20, Ron Harris, is the guy said.
1:54 to go. Boy, there's some folks that have come out in the blizzard tonight, and you got to be slightly crazy. That includes us to do that. Panthers are number 1. Night of USFL on ESPN 1984. First and 10, Chicago. They lead 16-14. First and 10 at their own 20. Evans hands the ball up to Canada, and Canada's got some running room. Bentley and Corker stopped him, but not until he moved near the 24-yard line. Evans thus far 11 of 19 for 93 yards, and they're lining up very quickly without a huddle. Evans to throw. Evans has a man on the far sideline, but bounces it right in front of Marcus Anderson. Marcus Anderson has been on nearly every kind of play you can get tonight. Streak patterns where the ball has hit him in the face. He's gone up in the air at the 5-yard line, only to be sandwiched there, and he's made a couple of good catches, and now they bounce the ball in front of him. Well, Pontiac and the Silverdome is glad to have ESPN. We'll return that favor. We're thrilled to be here to begin yet another season, especially with the championship team on display.
That's right, and I'll tell you another thing about Marcus Anderson, too, Jim. When you have a guy like Clarence Chapman, number 22, playing off 10 yards, you've got to throw the ball to him.
Third down. Evans puts it out there and overthrows Anderson this time. Might have been a mix-up there where Anderson was going to wind up, but it's fourth down. And now Gossett, who's been booming that ball 50 yards or more, number 7, comes in to kick the ball away. And since the last time he handled the football, he fumbled the snap from center. I guess Jeff wants to really pound one. Carter, number 1, Broughton, number 24, the deep men, standing inside their own 35-yard line.
Now what Michigan wants to do is that they want to try and jam because they're not putting, the Chicago Blitz do not put wide guys out wide. They keep them in tight. But they can jam everything in the middle because before the kick, only the 2 outside guys on either side are allowed to release.
Gossett, another high kick. Not that far, but no fair catch by Broughton. And Broughton's in a crowd and is not going to get out of it. And a flag goes down. Will there be a clip or do they grab Broughton by the face mask? Armstead made the stop along with Rivera. 39-yard net kick after the return, but let's see what happens on the penalty. Bill Parkinson stepping in. He'll talk with Horton Nacetta. Legal block against Michigan. They'll go the other way. So the Panthers are back in a hole. Remember, at one time, Hebert was 4 of 4 for a couple of touchdowns. Now he's 5 of 9, which means he is one of the last 5, total of 103 yards.
And 2 touchdowns. I got a holding penalty against Michigan.
Well, it's really a legal block.
Above the waist from behind, number 1, during the return. First down.
That is Anthony Carter that draws that foul. 1:13 left in this half. Michigan trails by 2. They were better than a touchdown favorite to knock off the Blitz. Well, we've got better than a half of football to go in this inaugural here at the Silverdome. Now Carter and Holloway both go wide left. Lacey and Williams are setbacks. Carter in motion. Hebert gets it across the line of scrimmage, and the ball is dropped across the line of scrimmage as little Derek Holloway came a little across in the arms of big John Gillum. And it's second down.
Hey, Jim, you see those little white wristbands on the official right there? Now, only in the last 2 minutes of the half and the last 2 minutes of the game, you see if he's passing one out back here. That tells them that all the rules change quite a bit in the last 2 minutes of the half and of the game. And we'll get into that when we get a chance.
Second down 10. Pick up a first down for one thing. They call time till they move the sticks. Last couple of minutes. And now Hebert calls the first timeout.
Timeout?
Came up to the line of scrimmage. It's second down and 10 with 1:08 to go, and it's their first timeout. Well, this is a wild ball game here at the Silverdome on a wild and woolly night. The ball, after the Blitz won the toss, they received and marched downfield, were stalled, and Seibel got Chicago on the board with a 41-yard field goal. But then at less than a minute and a half, Hebert unloaded a 49-yard touchdown pass to Derek Holloway, and Michigan jumped out in front. And then back came the Blitz again with Vince Evans, who's been a star here tonight, diving over from the 1. And Chicago took the lead 10-7. And Hebert did it again, hitting Anthony Carter on a post pattern from 16 yards out. Michigan took the lead 14-10. And then Chicago came back, and Larry Canada came back, cut back inside from 2 yards out, and then Gossett fumbled the snap from center, and Seibel could not kick the extra point. So 16-14, but more importantly, the last 3 possessions by the Michigan Panthers, highly favored ball, they've had to kick the ball away.
Yeah, that's true. When in Chicago, you know, when we talked to the coaching staff, there were no bones about it, and they looked at it and they said, we're going to have trouble stopping people. We know we can move the football. And that man right there, Marv Levy, he's the one that told it to us. He said, we're not, you know, no secrets at all, except for one thing that's happened. Chicago Blitz defense has been able to stop Michigan, and they've gotten themselves some confidence in that defense, and the offense has put them ahead.
Second down and 10. All on a 23-yard line. Carter in motion. Hebert has Williams as a safety valve, and Williams is out there, and Williams has got the first down. Bumped out of bounds. Doug Plank gave him a big hit on the far sideline after Trent Bryant had nudged him a little bit, but Williams is a powerful runner, not quite 6 feet, but they use him in short yardage situations, and when he gets up ahead of steam, he picked up 17 yards that time.
All right, take a look at there's Godfrey and Penny. Penny's number 74. They're just, and Radloff number 55 in the center. That's called holding, Jim.
Is that what that is when he's got his hand right on his shoulder pad and holds like that?
It rips your name off the back of your shirt. That's called holding.
Up the 41-yard line, first down. 1 minute left in this half. Hebert throws it out here for John Williams, and he dacks out of bounds at the 48-yard line. A gain of second. Took 6 seconds to go. It is second down and 3.
The Chicago Blitz are doing here in this situation, they're going to give him the 8 to 10-yard pattern because John Williams twice, he came out of the backfield, once to the left, pick up a first down, once to the right. They're not putting anybody on him. They've got a 4-man rush with no blitzing linebackers, and they're letting the defensive secondary pick up everything downfield. They're going to not let you get deep. They'll let you catch the 25-yard or the 10 to 15-yard patterns, and there are 5 defensive backs.
Holloway and Carter both come to the right. Armstead is one back over here, and they're waving over Bryant another, but there goes Anthony Carter the other way, and Bryant's trying to catch up to him. Across the middle, Carter can't hold on to the football. That's Doug Plank who gave him quite a hit there. 51 seconds to go, and it's third down and 3.
Jim, that time, I said that they went with 4-man rush. That time they said both linebackers are going to come up in the middle. 55 is Norris. You're going to see him come up. And on the outside, Kimmel, number 58, is also coming. But they had the right play called. It was a quick pass to Anthony Carter. Number 1, Oliver Davis, 21, was not with him. Anthony just dropped the ball. Excuse me, I said Trent Bryant, I said Oliver Davis. I'm sorry.
Here's Hebert across the middle. Ken Lacey's got the first down inside the 45-yard line. 44 seconds left.
Now here's where a rule change comes in while they call timeout.
Michigan. That's their second timeout.
They called timeout, but the clock would have stopped until they were ready to go again because they'll move the stakes, and that's one out from a 42-yard line. Michigan trying to edge ahead here in the last minute of the first half. Hebert dumps it out. Lacey head of steam, and a tackle made there by Sam Norris. Knocked him out of bounds. A flag goes down. That may give them more yardage. And if it does, it certainly at least moves them within field goal range.
You know, Lacey's big enough. He's not going to take anything from Sam Norris because Lacey's 6'1", 220 pounds. And
Norris is 6'3", 223.
Yeah.
So they give away nothing.
that's right. Face to face.
5-yard penalty. Hebert 9 of 15, 149 yards now. Move the ball down to the 26-yard line.
Face mask on the defense, number 55. First down.
Now, Jim,
37 seconds to go.
remember they threw 2 swing passes to Williams. Now all of a sudden they come back because they know the linebackers and everybody's dropping off. Now they're going to hit Lacey on the outside. Here comes Sam Norris, number 55. There is the face mask. It wasn't face mask at first. When he twisted him around is when he held on.
Holloway wide to the left. Carter wide to the right. Hebert for Lacey, and he's dragged down and keep it running. John Gillen keeps him in bounds, and that's not a first down, so the clock is still running.
They're going with hurry up. The Panthers only have 1 timeout. They would like to save that at least for the field goal.
Chicago's got 2 men on the field. They get him off. Hebert looks and throws over Anthony Carter. That stops the clock. 11 seconds to go. Hebert coming to the sideline. And I would assume they're going for their man Novo. It is still second down. He may yet take another play before
12 men in the field
going
on the
forward.
defense.
That's what it was. We told you that Gillen could not get off in time. And by the way, it looks as though James Looney, a linebacker, may have pulled a muscle in the back of his right leg as he walks off. There's Boyovich. They're going to move it in closer. Hebert is coming out, so you can probably look for a pass or a run, whatever, a quick timeout if need be. And then you'll see Boyovich if they are not successful in getting the score. Tom Mees is standing by, the USFL Stars in Action feature, with all of the action of yesterday, the first day of the USFL at 84. Holloway left, Carter right, 11 seconds left in the half. Long count. Hebert looking for Carter all the way, and Carter drops the football. It's incomplete, and there's a flag down back at the 20 with 6 seconds to go. Armstead, the defender, and if they roughed up, let's see, holding against Michigan. Let's see with 6 seconds to go. They want the clock, and of course they want some yardage here because it's going to be field goal time, so you take the play. Extra downs don't do you much good with 6 seconds to go.
Well, they got holding. They're going to take the Michigan Panthers back 10 yards and bring on Novo.
And that means that Novo is going to hit the better, just about 40 yards out, maybe 39.
Holding, number 74 on the offense. First down.
He kicked 3 long field goals in the opener last year to beat Birmingham. And this will be 39 yards to give them a 1-point lead at halftime. With Taylor's the man holding. From 39 yards out, he's got plenty of legs. And it's good. Half is over. And Michigan takes the lead in an exciting first half on the 39-yard field goal of Novo Boyovich. Happy Man from just down the road. And up the road in Central Michigan. It's halftime. And it's
Back to pass and gets picked off by former Kansas City Chief defensive back Gary Barbaro, and the Generals went on in to score. Ryan Sipe, the new quarterback for the New Jersey Generals, late of the Cleveland Browns. He looked okay, and here he hits tight end Sam Bowers over the middle. Bowers had a good day with catches like that one. Running back Maurice Carthen stole the show from Herschel Walker with 2 touchdowns. The first one here gives New Jersey a 7-0 lead. The Generals go on to win it 17-6 at Birmingham, and Walt Michaels liked what he saw. Meanwhile, 32,000 plus at the LA Coliseum in California. The LA Express under new ownership opening up against the Denver Gold. 10-10, 5:50 to go in the ball game. Denver quarterback Craig Penrose back to pass 6 yards, touchdown to Elmer Bailey. The Gold had 10 late points and win it impressively in their opener on the road. The final score, the Denver Gold 27, the LA Express were derailed. They only had 10. Meanwhile, terrible weather conditions at Skelly Stadium in Tulsa. Wind chill near 20, steady downpour, but in the end, Doug Williams of the Oklahoma Outlaws had the final say. Williams coming over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finds Derek Hughes for the only touchdown of the game, and Oklahoma hangs on to beat the Pittsburgh Maulers 7-3. Mike Rozier held to less than 30 yards rushing. New Orleans at San Antonio, a defensive back for the Gunslingers, Peter Rafiro, had a great day as we look at the San Antonio cheerleaders. Second corner, Rafiro returns this fumbled kickoff back for a touchdown for the blue-clad San Antonio Gunslingers. The 18,000 plus love it. San Antonio led 10-7. It stayed that way till the fourth quarter. But Johnny Walter, remember him last year when the Breakers were in Boston, had that great year? He looks for and finds Frank Lockett for the winning touchdown. Lockett, a nice move there, and he goes in. The final New Orleans Breakers win it 13-10 over the San Antonio Bull in Jacksonville, Florida, to see the first ever game for the Jacksonville Bulls against the second-year Washington Federals. No contest. Former Jet and Bronco quarterback Matt Robinson, a big day. Here he hooks up with Aubrey Matthews out of Delta State for a 74-yard touchdown. First touchdown in Bulls history. They lead it 9-0. And just before the half, Matt Robinson back to pass again, hooking up with former Oakland Invader wide receiver Wyatt Henderson. A beautiful catch, 54 yards and a touchdown. Robinson had 3 TDs and 299 yards in the air. And the Jacksonville Bulls had the most lopsided victory of the day. They scored a team record 53 points and a USFL record for one team. They win it 53-14. Meanwhile, at Tampa Stadium, a crowd of more than 42,000 watched the Bandits win it. A big day for Gary Anderson. Second quarter, Houston Gamblers leading 7-6. But Gary Anderson goes in from 2 yards out. The 2-point conversion good, 14-7 Bandits halftime. Fourth quarter, Gamblers up by 3. Gary Anderson again. 2.5 minutes to go, 12 yards, touchdown. Watch the creative spike by Anderson. Anderson 100 yards receiving, 114 yards rushing. He was magnificent. Tampa Bay wins it by 3 over a good Houston team. In Memphis, a crowd of nearly 30,000 at the Liberty Bowl to watch the expansion of showboats against the Philadelphia Stars. 9-3 Memphis. What's this, an upset? Think again. Chuck Fusina to tight end Steve Folsom. Folsom does the rest, and the team that had the best record in the USFL last year prevails in Memphis. Final score, Philadelphia Stars win it 17-9, but a good showing by Pepper Rogers' Memphis Showboats. Oakland Invaders at Arizona. George Allen has only lost 1 game in history as a head coach on opening day. He wasn't about to lose on Sunday. Greg Landry led the Wranglers offense. That's right, the Wranglers. Here he hits Wayman Buggs to make it 14-7 at halftime on a crossing pattern. Then in the fourth quarter, 72 yards and a bomb. Lenny Willis, where's the defense? He's wide open. There's the defense in Lenny Willis's wake. The real hero of the day, though, was the Arizona defense. You know how much George Allen likes defense? Not 1, not 2, but 12 sacks against Oakland quarterback Fred Basada. 5 of them by defensive end John Lee. Arizona wins it in a walk at home.
7-yard line for Michigan. Good coverage by the Blitz as the flag goes down and Williams gets across the 25-yard line. But the flag is down. National Football League. Abe Air dumps it out here to John Williams. Collision with Doug Plank. Eccles, a tight end, and Eccles has run out of bounds at the 8. Makes that
all the way for Anthony Carter. Watch his head. He's looking at Carter. He's looking for Carter. He's looking for Carter to get open, and he just can't get open. He had to look back to the left side and look at his tight end. That is called in the grass.
And now from 33 yards away, Vojovich, who already has a field goal of 39 yards, will try one of 33 yards. 33 yards out. It is no good. Vojovich has missed. 8:53 to go. They took the opening kickoff, were put back on their 8 by a penalty, went all the way down and tried a field goal and missed it. as they found Glenn Ford as a good runner. He's the second back in there along with Larry Canada. And that is Ford carrying the ball. Ford breaks a couple of tackles and picks up 3 yards. David Greenwood came up to make the stop. Jovic has really been pounding the ball tonight, to put it in Paul's words, but he missed that field goal at 33 yards.
Not too happy. All right, take a look at the bottom of the, or top of the screen. Larry Bethea, number 79. He is the big defensive end. He doesn't make the play, but he causes a lot of confusion. He's got a lot of people blocking on him. 74 was Doug Hopping.
That is called on a 4-yard gain by Ford, 2nd down and 6. There's the attendance. They had sold more than 30,000 tickets, but remember, there's a blizzard raging outside. Evans back to throw, and he's got his man Mark Keel. And Keel is near the 1st down at the 30-yard line. The way they're marking the ball, it's going to be 3rd and about a yard to go as Keel is slow in getting up. The year of experience out of the University of Arizona took quite a pop as he caught that football. 3rd down and about a yard, 7:49 to go, 3rd quarter, and Keel is going to get some help in the person of Gary Lewis, who played out his option after 3 years at Green Bay. Number 86, and they're not going to get any help at all. Short yardage situation. They're simply bringing in a 2nd tight end. Let's see if it's UUU, which is Vince Evans this time, or whether they give it to Canada. Did he get the 1st down?
Yes.
First Vegas Ferguson, I believe, and he did get the 1st down across the 30-yard line. Yes. It was that fumble. And took the ball at the 31-yard line of Chicago. David Greenwood, a strong safety, 2nd-year man out of Wisconsin.
Here's another rule change, Jim. On a turnover, normally the clock would stop. Now they wait till the referee puts him in a ready position, and he starts the clock when they're back in the huddle and both teams are on the field.
Let's see if Hebert goes up top in a hurry. Holloway to the right, Carter to the left. Hebert in trouble, gets the ball away out into Lacey. Lacey breaks 1 tackle inside the 25, flag down as Lacey goes.
Down.
That's Mike Cobb. Takes the ball back to the 34.
All right, here's Cobb. He's out on Virgil Ivers, number 24, and that's holding.
Don't let him go, Mike.
He just protected his runner, Lacey, number 28. But Bobby Hebert was in the grasp of Bruce Thornton, got away from him and got the ball out to Lacey. That was a great play.
From the 34, 1st down and 13 to go. Hebert looking, firing, Holloway broken up on a 18. Jim Stanley's group up by a single point on a 39-yard field goal at the end of the 1st half as time ran out. And remember, earlier Chicago missed an extra point when the snap was bobbled by the holder Gossett. Otherwise, we've been a tie situation. Put the ball back at the 39-yard line of Chicago. All of this started when Ford fumbled, when Greenwood hit him, and Greenwood recovered. Hebert, down he goes near the 50-yard line. Coming up with the ball is Justice, but the whistle had been blown on Hebert, and now it is a punting situation.
Jim, I'm going to tell you something. This is a fumble. Hebert drops the ball. Take a look at it. Joseph is the man that's going to pick it up, number 66. They've got a stunt on the inside, but he gets hit by Kadich and Bruce Thornton. You see the ball comes out.
Greenwood to kick the ball away. They got the ball at about the 31-yard line, and he's standing back on his own 38 to kick it away. Daniel is a deep man. They're coming. Good kick toward the sidelines. May go out, but it may go out too soon to the likes of Greenwood. Better looking kick in what it's turned out to be. It just goes to the 20-yard line, and that is all. 5:22 to go, 3rd quarter. Michigan, and this is just the 1st week of the 2nd season. But as much as they maligned the Chicago Blitz, no defense, front office problems, what was going to happen, they have acquitted themselves very well thus far, playing Michigan to a standstill. A 1-point game, 5:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. 1st down Chicago from their own 20. They They've gone to the 3 wide receiver offense again. Canada the lone setback. Evans gets a good block. Throws it up here, and not much there. A yard or 2. The ball caught by Jackie Flowers, and Corker put him down immediately.
Jim, did you see the block by Larry Canada on Larry Bethea? Watch this. Larry Canada is the fullback. Evans is going to roll out. Watch 79 disappear. Goodbye. That was the fullback, Larry Canada. Oh, my.
Well, he scored a touchdown on a nice cutback 2-yard run. And now Ford is back in. Canada's gained 72 yards as opposed to Lacey's 74 for Michigan. Second down, Canada with the football, and not much. Out to the 25. Vince Evans faces a 3rd and 5 situation. No scoring at all yet in the 3rd quarter. Remember, Paul and I will be down in Tempe, Arizona Friday night. Tampa Bay, who won yesterday. Arizona, which buried the Oakland Invaders yesterday, square up at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And the next Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, right back here to the Silver Dome, Pittsburgh with Mike Rozier comes in against Michigan. And a week from Monday, we get a look at the teams of the great Southwest as we go up to San Antonio. 3rd down and 5. Evans in trouble. Down he goes. He'll have to kick the ball away. Bethea is the man who got him up top, number 79. And coming in, Gossett will have to have one of his bigger and better kicks. He's been kicking extremely well.
He's got a strong foot, and you're absolutely right. He's kicked the ball very, very well. That time, Borland, number 52, the linebacker, they were trying to hit Keel on a real quick pattern, and Borland, the linebacker, got right in front of him. Evans had no place to go. The rush was on, and down he went. Look at this, 48-yard average.
That is Fountain on the far side, and the lower right-hand corner is Carter, and any time he gets his hands on the football, it could be all the way, so watch out. Michigan is not coming, looking to set up, and this is going to drive him backwards. Fountain inside the 30, all the way back to the 26-yard line, and he's not going to get much more out of that. Fine kick by Gossett as he was standing back on his own 15-yard first down. Going long for Anthony Carter. Here he won't get to it. Second down. Showing Blitz now backing out, and Lacey carries the ball out near midfield, and it'll be 3rd down and 7 from the 49-yard line. And that may be all in the 3rd quarter. There are the Michigan coaches. They can put their heads down. Things are supposed to be going a little bit better than this for the Panthers thus far, even though it is the first game of the season. The 3rd quarter has ended, and it is the same as when the first half ended. Michigan 17. Hebert puts it out here for Cobb. Fine play, defensive play there by John Kimmel, the left linebacker out of Colgate. By the way, Paul, in that 3rd quarter, Michigan had the ball for better than 10.5 minutes and failed to score. And before this quarter's over, you and I have to pick the Menon MVP and send $1,000 along to the college or university of that most valuable player's choice.
Well, it's one of 42 guys right now.
At the moment. Now that is Donnell Daniels back deep, as back to kick the ball away again is David Greenwood. You take a look at the wideouts who'll go down and try to contain. That was Moriarty there, trying to get up the line of scrimmage. Greenwood puts some foot to this ball, and that's going to sail into the end zone and out of the end zone. And that's not going to be much of a pickup because the line of scrimmage was the 49. That's only a 31-yard net punt. 3 wide receivers. Evans puts it out there, and it is caught across the way by number 83, Mark Keel, the tight end, and Keel has got the first down before Ray Bentley puts him down. Takes the ball across the 30-yard line, and Evans, I believe, Paul McGuire, is going to give that offense of Chicago a real catalyst in which to believe that they can score and will score no matter the situation.
And as soon as they get Glenn Ford into the offense, Jim, and where he learns the plays, he's in there right now. But when he's in there and he's got the whole offensive scheme. They've got some running game because he's already showed that. You obviously, with Evans, have the passing game.
And their defense has not played as poorly as one might suspect after listening to the Chicago people talk about it. Larry Canada, oh, he's hit head on and just on muscle gets back to the line of scrimmage. But Thea hit him head on along with Alan Hughes, and he muscled between them and barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Where it is second down. 13:40 to go in the final period. There's been no scoring in the second half. It is 17-16. Chicago trails by virtue of a boxed up point after touchdown attempt.
I think the Chicago Blitz came in here. There's Ron Waller to the left of Marv Levy, or to his Marv Levy's right to left on the camera. He is the offensive coordinator. Now here's Chapman, one of the few times he's right up on the wide receiver. That's Anderson.
Evans sees some running room, but it just disappears as Larry Bethea shuts him down. And it's third down and better than 10 yards to go. Evans thought he saw something, but it wasn't there. And now he is forced into a throwing situation.
Well, you know, that was one of the plays we were talking about Chapman in the first half, and he has been playing anywhere from 10 to 11 yards off. That time he came up on Anderson and really played him very well. He's allowed that one chuck within the 5-yard area from the ball. Then he's got to let him go, but Chapman ran with him so well. What they try to do is throw it in the zone area between the corner and the safety. Chapman up on him again.
Third down. A little bit more than 10 yards. Look out, Blitz is on. Evans gets around Corker. Evans delivers the ball, and that's caught Marcus Anderson. First down at the 44-yard line. Chapman was there, but Anderson got loose, and Evans found him after ducking the dangerous John Corker.
There's John Corker lining up in a three-point stance now. He's got the shot at Evans. Gives you an idea how strong and how quick Vince Evans is. Corker lets him go, and then Vince Evans. But the guy that really makes his play after this part here is Anderson. He comes back to the football. He gets away from Clarence Chapman. Look at him coming back to the ball. Gets the first down. Heads up play.
First down from the 44. Evans a strong candidate tonight for the Menon MVP, along with Lacey, Hebert, and others. Oh my! Anderson started going downfield before. That ball is no good. Intended for McGee, who took quite a shot, but Anderson was 5 yards into the secondary before anything happened. Greenwood is the guy. Boy, is he a hard hitter out of Wisconsin. #1 draft choice of a year ago. And if you don't believe he's a hard hitter, ask Glenn Ford when he coughed up the ball on a fumble not so long ago. There's been only one turnover in the entire game, and that cost no points at all. Michigan failed to score after getting a fumble at the Chicago 31.
And Keith McGee, I can promise you, will have a headache tomorrow morning.
If not right now.
Illegal motion. Number 80 on the offense. The penalty is refused. Second down.
Second down 10. They want the down.
All right. Keith McGee is going to be down, number 84, and watch on the right of the screen. Watch where Greenwood hits him. Right smack, head to head. And my friends, I'm going to tell you something. That hurts. And good night. But McGee's back up on the playing field. He's also tough.
Second down 10. Evans drills the ball off the hands of Anderson as Chapman was cutting him down from underneath. No penalty, need not be on that play. Good play. Anderson couldn't hold on to the football. It's third down and 10.
That young man right there, Clarence Chapman, number 22, what an excellent play he just made, because he was actually beaten on the hookup by Anderson. The only thing he could do was hit him when the ball got there. Took his legs out from underneath him. Like again, I'll say, the only thing that a defensive player could do at that point, and he did it.
Michigan leads by a point. Chicago's got the ball at their own 44, third down and 10, fourth quarter. Evans gets the ball away, and it was almost intercepted. Two men ran into one another. That was the problem. John Arnaud came up and ran into Coakley. It's fourth down.
It is fourth down. That's all you can say about it, except that Arnaud had the interception. Coakley is playing the reaction. His instincts were to go for the football because he had the coverage. That ball was being thrown to Flowers, who was double covered. So watch, Arnaud is the man that really has the interception. Coakley knocks the ball away and then hits his own man.
And now, Jeff Gossett, who has really been booming the ball. Carter in single safety. Gossett gets it away toward the far sideline. Carter goes over. It is inside the 20-yard line. Question of where they will mark the ball. A good kick by Gossett to mark it at the 14. 11:57 to go.
He did exactly the same thing. I'll take credit for that.
Here's Terry Miller trying to turn the corner and gets a hit as he gets a couple of yards across the 15-yard line, and that is about all. And that is Gillen again, the middle linebacker, number 53, who came over to make the tackle. Time is not a factor now in a one-point ball game. We've still got 11 minutes and 37 seconds left to play. But Michigan expected to roll, and the Blitz word was we could move the football, but we can't stop Michigan. Well, they've given them a field goal since early in the second quarter, and that is all.
You still got to believe that Hebert in the Michigan Panthers offensively have got to go back to throwing the ball with their backs coming out of the backfield because the linebackers are not staying with them.
Second down, Lacey breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. Lacey's got the first down at the 25-yard line with Doug Plank hanging on along with Ray Caddich.
Jim, you hear so many people talk about second effort. I don't believe that. I think it's a continuous effort. And watch Lacey. Watch his legs. They don't ever stop. His legs are still driving. They're still driving. Plank's on him. Caddich is on him. And Lacey picks up the first down. That's continuous effort, my friend.
Carter comes to the right, Holloway to the left. They've been very quiet with the exception of those 2 touchdown catches at the end of the first quarter and the beginning of the second. Hebert looking for Carter near the sideline. He's got him, rolled out of bounds. Probably is a first down at the 36-yard line. The 35 and a half is where he must reach, and they may mark it at the 35. We'll wait. There's Whit Taylor.
He'll give the signal, Jim. He'll get it from Stanley, and Whit Taylor, watch this, here it comes. He'll give you some on the top of his head, the back of his head. They go right down the forehead.
There was a time, as you're watching Taylor flash it in, that he replaced Hebert, and Hebert was taken out of the game and didn't play again. And later he started and became the USFL's most valuable player, leading passer. Now they're going to measure. They've got to get to about the 35 and a half. And it's a question of whether or not Carter got that far. Naturally, the Panthers say he got it. Let's wait for the officials to say whether or not he got it. Did not get it by an inch or two.
Okay, now they're looking. Here it comes. Here's what you're going to tell them. Here comes the play. That's 4.
If I weren't in the dome, I'd say the mosquitoes are bad tonight.
This is, see Hebert looking at his armband. Now he's looking over saying, are you crazy? Oh, okay. That would, all right, if you say so, that'll work. That's play number 45.
That's second down and inches to go. The clock shows 10:23 to go in this ball game at the Silverdome. And we'll repeat again. You wonder what would have happened here in terms of crowd, not in terms of game, had there not been a blizzard outside. 4 or 5 inches already. They expect up to maybe 10 or 12 inches before the morning is over. And a lot of folks are canceling a lot of planes and plans to fly out of here tomorrow. Second down. That is Lacey, who's got the first down and plenty more across the 40. Doug Plank comes over to touch him just in case no one else had. Lots of folks did. And Lacey looks as though he felt he could have cracked it for more than that.
Well, if he doesn't trip over Radliff, the center, but the Radliff was making a block. It wasn't that Radliff wasn't making a block. He made a block. Lacey would have been in the secondary doing some running. Marv's looks a little concerned.
Less than 10 minutes to go. Marv Levy's team trails by a point. Holloway to the right and Carter left. Still Terry Miller and Ken Lacey in the backfield. Whoops, 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 whoops. Something went awry there. Clock wound down. Nobody pulled away.
Radliff didn't center the ball on the right count
on the quarterback,
because you had Osmond coming down, pulling the tackle. And Hebert looked upset at the center. He was pulling away. Most everybody was moving except the center didn't center the ball.
Ball back, 5 yards, 1st and 15.
You know, with all the turmoil in Chicago, Jim, I think that Marv Levy and his coaching staff did a tremendous job with this football team coming in and playing the champion.
Well, he said that he and his team were not that concerned. They're trying to get ready for a football season. Let the ownership take care of itself, and he was sure it would work out. But he can't let that kind of goings-on at that level affect the players or himself and his coaching staff. 1st and 15 from the 35. Holloway, the man in motion. Hebert got the time, delivers the ball, and almost intercepted by Tommy Wilcox, who had 6 interceptions last year. It was as a shoe tops, and he couldn't hold on to it. The ball was thrown behind the intended receiver, Holloway.
Now the Blitz are going with 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. The 2 linebackers are Gillen and Kimmel, and they're going with 5 defensive backs.
2nd down and 15.
And that time they had the linebacker one-on-one with Lacey coming out of the backfield.
Hebert 14 of 25. Those 2 touchdowns early on in the game, 208 yards. Carter coming this way. Hebert looking for Carter. Carter gets the ball right in front of Wilcox and does not have a 1st down. Picks up about 11 or 12, and it's 3rd down and short yardage.
Well, all right, let's look at the protection. You got a 4-man rush, no linebackers are blitzing. There's Osmond, 75, Penny, 74. The blocking at the line of scrimmage. Caddies, number 61, not getting anywhere. Here's a man with ice in his veins. Take a look at Anthony Carter. He does not hear footsteps, not ever. Wilcox couldn't play it any better, and Anthony Carter just took the ball away from Wilcox, number 25.
Armstead is the man who finally put him down. 3rd down, and let's call it 4 to go from the 46. Almost 5. Here's Hebert. Pumps once, throws it out. Nobody's out there. Nobody at all, and he overthrew Lacey. Wilcox saw him at the last minute. No linebackers anywhere in the vicinity, and Hebert overthrew him. It's 4th down.
I just told you 2 plays ago they're letting Lacey run out there by himself, and that time he just threw the ball too far. And you're looking at it, Jim, and you're looking in anticipation because you know if he catches it, he's gone.
David Greenwood, the kick again. Donnell Daniel back again, standing on his own 10. The punters tonight have been outstanding. Whoops, that almost blew him off. No flag. Now a flag goes down, and that would be a 1st down. If it is against, hold it, Michigan. They got it there, but they would have a 1st down unless they were drawn offside.
You're absolutely right, Jim, because it's only 4.5 yards.
The official hesitated a long while and then threw it down.
Illegal procedure against the center.
Oh! Now you know Chicago saying, take it back. That's the 2nd time that Radloff, Hebert was blamed for one of them when he didn't snap the ball. Illegal procedure this time. It is not 1st down. It is 4th down and 9.5, and Greenwood will have to kick it again. What a break for the Blitz. Either way, a break for the Blitz.
John Corker, number 57, the outside linebacker, is the center on the punt team.
Oh, it's not Radloff. It is center. Corker.
And
let's see if we can see it.
John said, what'd I do? What'd I do?
I don't know if we can see it or not. But John Corker will watch this being marched off 5 yards.
So
watch again.
Right in the middle of your screen. He picked his head up.
That's it, and then went back down again.
Now what?
You're
You know what
going to
it
say
is?
something.
I'll tell you what, it's a jerky motion of his head. It was intentionally done to draw the team offside.
In other words,
if he picks his head up smoothly, yes, I would love to see this thing one more time, because when you see Corker's head, watch him snap it. Take a look at Corker's head.
Now this is
Doesn't
in slow
move the
motion.
ball.
See, that's in slow motion that you see it there.
Now he snaps his head up. They're offside. Then Corker comes back down.
It would have been 1st down. Missed. Look, they blocked it. McGee is after it. He picks it up. He knocks it into the end zone. He falls on it, but is it in the end zone or not?
It's
is it
out.
a safety or a touchdown? Safety. That means that they've got a 1-point lead now, and Michigan must kick the ball back. Jim Stone is a thrilled man. He may have been the man to get the hand on the ball. It was McGee chasing it in, but he did not bend down, did not try to pick it up, did not try to recover it. He simply tried to run it in.
Oh, look at here. Here it comes. He takes a long time. He really takes a long time with the ball. And it is Stone, Jim, number 42, who is way up in the air. But here's the mistake McGee makes. You should try to pick the ball up, but when he reached down, he took his eye off the ball, kicked it. It goes in and out of the end zone. Ron Osborne really saved the touchdown by knocking him out.
Greenwood's first block punt ever in the pros. But that costly one. Because Daniel was standing inside his own 25 with hopes of returning this. He's at the 30 to take it. He'll try to hang on across the 40 and out to the 47. Outstanding return and field position for the Blitz.
Just watch Jim Stone, number 42. Watch how high in the air he is when he blocks this ball. That's him there. That's not a slam dunk in basketball, folks. That's a block punt in football.
8:08 to go. Chicago's got the ball first and 10 at the 47. Hi, Doug Hoppett. Hi, Jim Stone. First down from the 47-yard line, 7:55 to go. Chicago leads by a point. Evans, the blitz is on, gets it away out here to Glenn Ford. Ford's near a first down across midfield and out of bounds. They will mark it at the 47-yard line. Make it a gain of about 6.5 and call it 2nd and 3.
I don't know if that was an audible at the line of scrimmage, but it was a definite design screen pass to Ford, to Glenn Ford coming out of the backfield. David Greenwood, number 31, the strong safety and punter for Michigan, was on a blitz. Evans read it, just dumped the ball to the outside. They picked up 8 yards. 4-7.
Straight ahead, Larry Canada gets near the first down. If he does not have it, it'll be 3rd down and perhaps a foot. Canada with a 2-yard touchdown run earlier. That was in the 2nd quarter. And he's got almost 80 yards in rushing already. Most of that in the first half.
They're going to miss this by the nose of the ball.
That much?
About an inch, maybe an inch and a half.
A reminder that Paul and I will be out in Arizona, Tampa Bay at Arizona, 9 o'clock this Friday night Eastern time. Don Heinrich and I will be back here Saturday night, Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
Oh, you missed it. On Saturday night, and then Paul and I will get back together on Monday night out in San Antonio. That game out on San Antonio will feature the other Texas team, Houston. First down, mark the ball just inside the 44-yard line of Michigan, and the clock increasingly is becoming a factor, but in a 1-point ball game, you can get down to about 10 seconds before you figure and worry about the clock. Whoops, there's a mistake by the tackle on the right side. That's number 78,
False
Jerry
start.
Durger.
Number 78 on the offense. First down.
First and 15. I believe the fans, Paul, think that too many penalties have been thrown against Michigan and not enough against Chicago, which is understandable since we're in the Silverdome.
You think Durger doesn't know it? Watch this. Oops. But see, the problem is that Padgett moves inside and he hits Hartnett, the guard, and Hartnett didn't like that either.
First and 15. Anderson wide to the right. And here's Canada going the other way with a convoy in front of him, but he's going to run out of area and be knocked out of bounds near the original line of scrimmage. Going to be 3rd down, or rather 2nd down and long, about 9 yards.
All right, we talked about Durger. Well, every time you see a guy make a mistake on a penalty, then you take a look at him. There he goes. There's Hartnett and Durger on the outside. Look at this block. He's going to roll out Chapman. But Chapman stayed to the outside. He did what he was supposed to do.
Oliver Davis, 7-year veteran out of Tennessee State.
Holding, number 57 on the passing team. The penalties decline. First down.
Mark Fisher, the center, holding, but they don't want that. They want the football, and they get it.
All right, Vince Evans is one of the few bad passes he throws. He tries to drill this ball in. Just take a look at Oliver Davis. He comes in, tips the ball. Now watch when he runs. 57 Corker was down there. Watch who comes by him and helps him out. There's a block. Well, almost a block. But Oliver Davis brings the ball back to the 43-yard line.
Evans almost drilled that into triple coverage. And after Davis picked it off, he brought it back 23 yards. And with a strong foot of Boyovich there, he is 1 for 2 tonight. Michigan looking to at least get into field goal range, if not closer, for the big 7 or 8 points of the USFL, should they choose. Hebert puts it out on the sideline, and across the way, Holloway is knocked out of bounds by Trent Bryant over there. And that should be a first down.
Well, we got a flag over here, and it's going to be against Michigan.
Holding. Look at Holloway. Bill Parkinson's crew tonight. Not too many flags thrown. Good job. And when you say not too many flags thrown, remember this is the first game of the season for both ball clubs.
Holding, number 55 on the offense. First down.
Radloff, the center.
Wayne Radloff, the center. He said, geez, did I really do that? Well, we'll see, Wayne, if you did hold. Take a look right in the center. And that man he's looking, that's Taylor. Yeah.
No, he didn't hold him. Not much.
I'll tell you what, Taylor's right arm is about 1.5 inches longer than his left arm now.
McLean is to the left and Holloway and Carter to the right. 3 wide receivers in there for Michigan on first down and 20. The ball at the 33-yard line. Hebert is down in the grass bog from the 33 back to the 25. To the Blitz. Canada, as a flag goes down, Canada gets out to the 15-yard line. But Ford does not get very far, but far enough to get the first down across the 20-yard line. That's all he needs. Hands it off to Canada. He gets a couple of yards instead of losing 5 yards for delay of the game. Evans, in resetting his backs, are telling them where to go at least. Almost lost that 30-second clock.
You know what, they want to congratulate all the winners in the USFL yesterday, but one guy that I really like to especially congratulate is Walt Michaels of the New Jersey Generals. What a job he has done with that football team, Jim.
There are 5 out there that could be the men in MVPs. Second down. Evans intercepted once, puts it up. Oh my, what a chance there as Keel dropped the ball. Greenwood had it popped right toward him. 2:50 left. The Blitz leading by a point. Evans on the sidelines and almost picked off. Intended down there for Anderson, his primary receiver. Double coverage, it's 4th down. Gossett will have to kick it away.
Arnaud
almost had it, didn't he?
Oh, John Arnaud just waited for it. There's Clarence Chapman out on Anderson. They're going one-on-one. I said they like to hit the seam between the safety and the corner. Look at Arnaud, 25. The ball would have been a little bit lower. It would have been there. Anderson, it hits him in the hands. Chapman was there.
And here comes a chance as Gossett is back to kick for Anthony Carter to turn this ball game around. What a dangerous return man he is. So a fine kicker against a great returner. Let's see what happens.
Oh, he hit a beauty.
Driving Carter back 15, 20 yards, back to the 20-yard line. Good coverage. He's in trouble over there and can't do anything with it. Gossett got the ball so high in the air, he drove Carter back a 57-yard punt, only a 12-yard return. A net kick of 45 yards when they were in the hole. Jeff Gossett did an outstanding job. Now Boyovich is standing by for Hebert and company to move him down where he can win this, as the Michigan Panthers are only down by a point.
I think this man, now you know why Marv Levy wanted him so much. Take a look at, watch the concentration and watch the drop. Flat, his foot, his toe is down, and he cracks it out, what, 57?
Hebert, Blitz is on. Hebert trying to get out of it. Hebert throws the ball away toward Mike Cobb and saves the yardage. It's second down, and he also stops the clock. Hope that injury's not serious. He's up and walking around now.
They just retaped his ankle, Jim.
Second down. They're not blitzing. Hebert's got time, and here's Cobb out here. Russell down, out of bounds, stops the clock very close to a first down. Kittle. Here come the linebackers, but straight ahead. Running the ball is Cleo Miller. Veteran out of Arkansas. Clock continues to run. But they're keeping that ball right in front of the goalpost. Marv Levy's team has performed much better than most expected. Underdogs by more than a touchdown. Jim Stanley's team favored by more than a touchdown. There goes Miller again. Close to a first down. They'll stop the clock with 1:03 left. Still right in front of the goalpost. Don Williams, good short young man, gets it down to the 15. First down. That'll stop the clock for the moment with 59 seconds to go. And they keep running straight ahead. They're on a short yardage situation. Carter to the left. Holloway to the right. Cobb remains the tight end on the left side. Two bull-like runners in there, and Cleo Miller and John Williams. They control the football. And now, here's a throw out here to Miller inside the 5. Plank makes the tackle. First and goal to go. 26 seconds left.
They ran a crossfire action and a fake. They run a fake to Williams, number 40. Right here, Cleo Miller comes out of the backfield. The linebacker forces, puts all the pressure on Plank downfield, and Armstead, Plank 46, Armstead 47. I can't believe they threw the ball down here. I thought they're just going to run it down. They're down to 18 seconds, but they're going for the score.
14 seconds and counting. If they don't make it here, they may have to call time. They will have to call time. There's Williams, and he's not going to get it. 7, 6, 5. They call it with 5, and it's up to Novo Boyovich to come in.
Timeout, Michigan. That's their second timeout.
Jim, they're right at where you would normally kick an extra point. They're actually at the 2.5-yard line. They're not at the 3.
And they've done another thing, Paul. They've raced it down to 5, so there's little or no chance, barring a long return, that Chicago can come back.
17 points.
This is for the game. 20-yard field goal attempt is up, and it's good. Time runs out, flag down, but I think it's going to be against Chicago. Boyovich with a 20-yard field goal has won it.
Defense is offside. The penalty refused. Score. Touchdown.
20-18 the final score. The defending USFL champions have won the ball game as time runs out.
Look at Novo. when he hit it, he knew he hit it. I mean, his leg is so strong that he knew it. He's going bananas.
A disappointment for the Chicago Blitz, but at least Marv Levy and his group now know they can put a team on the field and play with nearly anybody. And our men in MVP is a fellow that gained 156 yards total, and that is Lacey, 98 yards rushing, and a 54 USFL.